All right, let's get right into it. You know, the AI boom is absolutely everywhere. But when you look past all the headlines about ChatGPT, what does it all really mean for your career, especially as an MBA in business analytics? That's exactly what we're going to unpack today.
I mean, this is the question, right? It's on everyone's mind. There's so much noise out there, it's genuinely hard to know where you should be putting your energy. Are you supposed to be a top-tier coder, a high-level strategist, some kind of data wizard? Well, let's cut through the confusion and get some real clarity.
So, first things first, we have to separate what's getting all the clicks and the media hype from what companies are actually hiring for, what's creating real value, because that's where the opportunity is for you.
And look at this slide, because this disconnect is so important. While the whole world is fascinated with generative AI writing poems or creating cool images, businesses, well, they're on a desperate search for people who can use predictive AI to either make or save them serious money. One is a fascinating new tool, but the other is a proven workhorse moneymaker. And here's a huge reality check for you, coming from experts Eric Pritchett and Eric Siegel. Less than 30% of AI models ever actually make it into production. Just let that sink in for a second. The biggest takeaway here is that this is not a technology problem. It's a people and a process problem, and that is exactly the kind of complex challenge an MBA has trained us off.
And this just nails the point home. We're not talking about tiny little efficiencies here. We're talking about $350 million annually for just one company. That value doesn't come from drafting a clever email. It comes from predicting the most efficient package routes. That's a classic predictive analytics job that has been the silent engine of business for years. Okay, so now that we get the massive opportunity here, let's actually look at the tools you're going to need. We're about to demystify the three main types of AI that you'll run into, so you'll know precisely which tool is right for which job. So first up is predictive AI. This is that quiet, super reliable workhorse we were just talking about. It's not the new shiny thing, but man, is it powerful. It just looks at everything that's happened in the past to calculate the odds of something happening in the future, you know? Is this customer about to leave us? Is this credit card swipe fraudulent? It's all about playing the probabilities.
And then we've got generative AI. I love this description from expert Jeff Crume, who calls it autocomplete on steroids. And it's amazing, right? For creating new things. But, and this is a huge but for business, it's only about 95% reliable. That 5% error rate, totally fine if you're drafting an email. But it is absolutely catastrophic if you're relying on it for financial reporting or medical advice.
And that brings us to agentic AI. Now this is a real game changer. As Eric Pritchett explains it, the key word here is agency. Think about it. A simple assistant, like a chatbot, it just waits for you to ask a question. An agent, on the other hand, is given a goal, and it proactively goes out and takes the steps to achieve that goal. Let's make that real. Imagine an AI agent whose whole job is creating sales quotes. It doesn't sit around waiting for a salesperson to ask it to make one. No, it sees a trigger in the CRM system, and then it autonomously orchestrates this entire workflow. It pulls the customer data, it checks the product catalogs, it applies the right pricing, and it spits out a perfect final document. No human had to touch each of those steps. See, that's orchestration, not just simple automation. Okay, so we've got the tools down. Now for the big question. What skills do you actually need to put on your resume to use them? This section gets right to the heart of what we're talking about today. Now, on the technical side, listen, you don't need to be some genius machine learning engineer. What you need is fluency. You need to speak the language. That means getting comfortable with SQL and Python, having a really solid grasp of stats, and understanding the basics of how data moves through a company. The goal isn't to build every model from scratch. It's to be able to confidently explain how one of them works in plain English.
But this right here is the secret sauce. This is your MBA superpower. Your real value, your unique advantage is in translation. It's about taking a data scientist's metric and explaining to a VP what it means for the bottom line. It's about knowing how to convince a sales team to actually trust and use a new AI tool. This is the bridge, and so many companies are missing it.
So let's take it up a level. Because having the skills, that's one thing. But applying them with the right mindset, well, that's what separates the good from the truly great. Expert Eric Siegel has a great name for this framework, BizML. The idea is so simple, but it's incredibly profound. Your job isn't to be a tech expert who just happens to be sitting in a business meeting.
No. Your job is to be a business leader who understands how to strategically use technology as a tool to solve business problems. It's a fundamental shift in perspective.
So how do you actually do this? You start by asking these 3 relentlessly specific questions before a single line of code gets written. For instance, you don't just say, let's predict churn. A BizML thinker asks, will this specific customer cancel in the next 30 days if we do nothing? See the difference? Every single project has to be defined by a precise target, a direct line to a dollar value, and a real plan for how people are going to use it.
All right, let's bring this all home. When you put this all together, what's the ultimate role you should be shooting for in this new AI-powered business world?
I mean, this quote from the source material just says it all, doesn't it? AI isn't coming for your job, it's an amplifier for your job. The real threat isn't the technology, it's ignoring it. Your future isn't about being replaced by a machine, it's about becoming the person who knows how to command the machine.
At the end of the day, your competitive edge isn't going to come from memorizing a bunch of algorithms. It comes from being the architect. You're the one who designs the whole system, who decides what success even means in business terms, and who can fluently speak both languages, tech and business, to get everybody on the same page.
And that really leaves us with this final thought. The biggest winners of the AI revolution won't be the people who can write the most complex code. They'll be the people who know how to connect that code to cash flow. The opportunity is absolutely massive. So the only question left is, are you ready to be one of them?